This is a battle between MindLab Pro and NooCube, and you've probably seen these two nootropic supplements in your search for your new nootropic. They probably have one of the largest online footprints. A lot of people recommending either one. So I'm going to break down for you which one we think is the better nootropic supplement for you. We'll compare their ingredients, dosages, and the price to see if one is better than the other for your stack. So let's start with their shared ingredient. And as always, all the links will be down in the description for whichever one you decide to choose. But we can start with the shared ingredients. The first one we can look at is L-theanine. Both have 100 milligrams. L-theanine, typically a great addition to a nootropic supplement, helps reduce stress and anxiety. I've felt effects even as low as 100 milligrams in use, but typically the research uses 200 to 400 milligrams. But just based on my experience, I've even felt effects even lower. So that's all good. They both have L-tyrosine. NooCube has a little more at 250 milligrams versus 175 in MindLab Pro. However, you kind of need like 2+ grams for it to really make a difference. So to me, that's just negligible. And the final common ingredient, another common ingredient is Bacopa monnieri. NooCube has a slightly higher dose at 250 milligrams versus MindLab Pro's 150 milligrams. Again, Bacopa monnieri is actually a relatively well-studied nootropic ingredient to help with memory recall, cognitive functions, processing speed, and verbal learning. And the final common ingredient, based on the updated version 3 NooCube formula, is choline, where MindLab Pro has 250 milligrams and NooCube has 100 milligrams, at least within the USA version. Again, choline is a precursor to a neurotransmitter that can help with memory recall, especially in older individuals and those who may be suffering from some kind of cognitive decline. So we see they kind of even each other out, at least in these ingredients. Now, in terms of the extra ingredients that these two both have, let's start with NooCube. So we have cat's claw extract, which is more of a speculative ingredient. Since we don't actually have any research on it, I guess it's more traditionally used as a brain enhancer. We also have Panat's ginseng at 160 milligrams, which again, potentially helps improve cognitive function. And then we have Luke-Max 2020, which is actually a vision supplement, which is actually interesting to include in a nootropic. So if we round that out, we probably have a couple of extra ingredients. One of them very speculative. Panat's ginseng may be quite good, then one for vision. On MindLab Pro, we have organic lion's mane mushroom, which is a long-used nootropic, or I guess you could say natural nootropic from the mushroom. It's known as the nootropic of the mushroom world. It also has 500 milligrams of it, which is the highest dose of lion's mane that I've seen in any nootropic supplement. That's a big win there for MindLab Pro. We also have the one that I can never pronounce, phosphosterine, 100 milligrams of that, which can help with cognitive function as well. And it is right in the dosage range within the research for it to potentially have this effect. Rhodolia rosea and maritime pine bark, both having cognitive enhancing benefits. So I would argue that MindLab Pro probably has more ingredients in it to help boost brain function versus NooCube, which has a couple of others which are either more speculative or for other purposes. If we go into the research behind these two supplements, NooCube doesn't have any research backing its formula. MindLab Pro now has 3 clinical trials, all done through a third party, which means they didn't do them themselves, which other nootropic brands have, if you've watched some of our previous videos. And they've found improvements in processing information and memory from these trials based on MindLab Pro's formula, which is really promising to have 3 clinical trials on their own formula to show that there is some promise there versus one that doesn't have, but has a few ingredients that may have some kind of research behind them. So let's talk about price, and they're relatively close in price, but MindLab Pro is slightly more expensive per serving. We're talking $1.73 to $2.30 per serving for MindLab Pro, and $1.30 to $1.95 per serving for NooCube. Now, NooCube is on the cheaper side of the nootropic spectrum. MindLab Pro is kind of more standard in the middle. Again, you always get large discounts when you're buying in bulk with nootropics typically. Now, if you're on a big budget, NooCube might be the way to go. But our recommended winner between MindLab Pro and NooCube is MindLab Pro. And that's mainly because it has more brain boosting ingredients in it. It has the 3 clinical trials backing it, which NooCube does not, which lends some credibility to MindLab Pro. And the price isn't that much more expensive per serving when you're buying in bulk. So if you're looking for your next nootropic supplement, highly recommend MindLab Pro. All the links will be down in the description. And if you want to see the full review of MindLab Pro that we have done, check out this video next because it runs through in more detail everything you need to know about this nootropic supplement.